Hey, welcome everybody. I'm here with Jordan Harrison of Presto Media fame. Thanks for joining me today, Jordan. I'd love to hear a little bit more about what you do, what Presto Media does. Let's kick off with that. Let's just get started and kick off. What is Presto Media all about? Give us the lowdown.
Yeah, so Presto Media is a marketing agency, and we've actually grown into a pretty much full-scale digital marketing agency. So we now offer local GMB SEO, as well as Google Ads, Facebook Ads, and web design. So those have just recently been added, but we started as a social media content agency for contractors. So the one thing that contractors, nobody helps them with is content. People, as a matter of fact, I put a post about it this morning. People are like, we'll do social media management. That's malarkey. I don't know if we can cuss on this thing or not. Sorry. I try not to. We'll keep it family oriented, but it's crap. It's complete crap. And it doesn't really do anything for your business. Doesn't build a brand. So we started out focusing on social media content only, which is a hard sell, right? To build a brand over time through social media and get people to know, like, and trust you. So we started with content on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and particularly video content. That's where everything started. And then we've grown since then. So people get started working with us. They like working with us. Or like, do you do this too? We could do this, or we figured it out. So we've now expanded out to really want to control. Like we want the opportunity to work with you as almost kind of a fractional CMO in a way. We're like, all right, we're gonna do an all-encompassing marketing plan with you. It's going to start with social media content and building your brand that way, right? So we're talking about our messaging is consistent across our website. It's consistent across our Google ads and our Facebook ads for running those. Like, there's a consistent message, and we're tracking everything to make sure everything's on point. So in a nutshell, we're the only marketing agency that's focused on social media content to build your brand, and we do those other services as well.
Yeah. So you're really end to end then. So you're not only helping with the strategy around it, you're doing a lot of the production or helping with the production of it, and then you're going to be managing it too as it's rolling out across social media platforms and making sure that people are seeing the traction they need to see.
Yeah, because then you're getting like there's so many things you do in other elements of your business, especially like local marketing, that needs to come out through your content. And it just your whole branding has to be on point from beginning to end. And if it's just not there, it's not going to work. So like, and we are focused on businesses, mostly contractors. We do have some B2B guys that we work with. But mostly contractors that are in that $500,000 a year range, like, okay, we're pumping, we're generating referrals. We need to start getting some branding and messaging point all the way up to like 2 million, 3 million a year. That's kind of the range that we want to service, because some of those other marketing agencies don't want that, or people just can't afford the big ones like the Mike Sterns of the world that are super amazing, but they're at a different level and they service at a different level. So we want to make sure that, me being a teacher or former teacher, that we help those little guys and help those businesses, because that's where the majority of it is, right? Like a million under. That's where I was talking with Nick this past weekend, a roofer, like $1 million or under. That's where the majority of their businesses are. So those guys need the most help.
Something like 80% of the market is that size.
Yeah, and they need help, and we can do it at still keep our margins right, like, so we can be profitable as a small business and help those guys out because they need it. So we keep things pretty simple for them.
So true. Yeah, and the price point really matters there too for that scale of a contractor. It has to be affordable enough and can't be one of these services or pieces of software that just scales out the pricing and makes it not feasible for most of the contractors that use it.
Yeah, and if you're not using it.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're not using it, right? Which is a lot of what contractors might struggle with if it's not accessible. If your service isn't accessible or your product's not accessible, how can you use that?
Yeah, well, and this is the way we look at it too. Like the focus shift to where it's like, all right, I think everybody needs content on social media. I think that needs to be there. That's how you're going to build trust in the market. Because a lot of people will find your website, but then they click your content, their social media, and like, what is people about? And they learn more that way, because your website is going to be the best version of you, but like, what's the best version of you that shows up every day?
Yeah,
that's your social
everybody
media.
knows that you are the one that builds your website, and so they know that you're going to put your best foot forward there, right?
Yeah,
but they know that social media is this representation of you putting content out there that people are reacting to, and And then that reaction is something that it's almost like a review, right? Or a rating or review. So how
Yeah.
much social trust do you have?
Yeah, and like you point out earlier, like the adding on things that you don't need, like the whole goal is like, all right, most people that start with us, they start with content only, right? That's or content maybe ads. And the first thing we do is we make sure that they don't. One, they have to understand. Depending on before they do any ad stuff, like they have to have a sales process in place. Like they have to have a
Why is that?
well, I mean, if you can't track your numbers and know how you convert referrals, and if you're not tracking your marketing, like where are your leads actually coming from? Are they calls? Are they people that referred over? Like, did I get them from here? Like, if you don't know where your lead source is coming from and how to track it and how you convert it, there's no point in running ads because you're going to spend money and not be able to track it properly.
Mhm.
You're just not like you need to know where your leads are coming from, and you need to know what your conversion rate is. And is there anything you can do to bump that number up first? Like, can you do anything to make that better? Do you have a CSR in house that can book more appointments that maybe they're not asking good questions the first time they talk to a customer? Like, there are so many things you could do before you even are like, hey, let's put money into ad spend
Yeah.
to get leads. So I just feel like you've got to be able to know and understand your brand. You got to be able to know and understand your own sales process and have a tracking system in place before you're like, let's put money in behind ads. I
Yeah.
would say the best thing would be local service ads because it's a pay per call, it's a round robin, it's pretty
Mhm.
fair for the most part, and
If
that'll
you're
that
if you're a person with a company with a physical location, right? And that would
right.
yeah, if you're somebody who's offering services, to in multiple states or what have you across like a piece of software, for example, like Lead Scout, um, the local service ads aren't going to play as well for you. But if you are most contractors, 90% of contractors still play really well for you.
Yeah. So yeah, the sales process is important to us because that lets us know that you are serious about your business and you have your ducks in a row. Because if you look at most major marketing companies, most of the business coaches, like the first thing start about is your structure. Are you tracking your numbers? Do you know what your numbers are? Like, and you got to know that in your business. So we make sure that's the case. We have a client now that's what we're working on. We put them on local
Mhm.
service ads. And we're like, let's just start tracking very simple. You're going to mark every lead and phone call that comes in. You're going to mark where it came from. And you're going to mark how many were, acceptable leads or not acceptable leads. And then where did they, how many closed into a job, how much revenue that turned into, right? Super simple. Like we're not complicating this here. And
Yeah.
that way, okay, this is how effective my marketing is. Here's where I can fix things. And then you're like, all right, now I'm confident. I'm not stuck in the weeds. Now I can, when calls are coming in, they're getting booked. I can confidently go out and close a percentage. And then what's happening in the meantime is we're putting out content that builds trust, makes the sales a little easier.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a library content you can lean on. I do P90X workout, and Tony Horton, the instructor in that workout, constantly says something. He says, "How will you know where you're going if you didn't know where you're coming from? How will you know where you're going if you never knew where you're coming from?" And what he's talking
Right.
about there, he's always like, take notes. You got to know where you're at today as far as how much weight you can lift, how many reps you're doing, all of that stuff, so that you can know in a month or not 90 days rather for his program, like where you came from.
Mhm.
And it's a no-brainer for marketing, but you got to know your basic metrics, your basic fundamentals with your marketing so that you can know, are you doing better next month if you are, applying paid marketing to it, or even just social organic social
Yeah.
traction, right?
Yeah. Then you got to look at things like search engine optimization now is a whole new ball game. It's different and it keeps changing. It's a new thing that we've added.
Hmm.
So I'm still like I lean on the team that is doing it heavily and hard to make sure I know that I'm conveying the correct way. But like there's two clients we have that's just it's not feasible for them because they want to go to a market 15 miles away or 20 miles away, but unless you have a physical location there, it doesn't do you any good with SEO. So you have to keep that in mind. Like there's so like some people may be like, oh, we'll do SEO for you, get you more calls. I mean, yeah, but that's not effective for them. It's not. It may
Yeah.
get a few more a month, but it's not worth the pricing that they're going to pay to get in there. So it's once again that's goes back to like what we're trying to be all about is like we're trying to think about the holistic approach.
Yeah.
Um, but we start with the content part first, and then we scale out from there. And as you grow as a business, and we add different things obviously we grow too. We cost more as you grow. So we're not like, hey, you need to be doing all these things at one time. It's like, nope, let's get you scaled out the right way. Let's get the basics in place.
Love it. So let's talk about leads. Specifically, leads seem to be, we hear a lot from a lot of contractors that leads are harder to come by these days. 2023, leads are harder to come by. Quality of leads is dropping. So how can contractors, specifically contractors, differentiate themselves in this marketplace where everybody's fighting over leads?
I think there's two things. One, are you offering financing? Chris Cova will love this. Do you know how to do financing at the point of sale? Because people are scared. I don't see the market, I don't see the economy like tanking right now. I just don't see it. I was down at Orlando, and that place was packed.
Mm-hmm.
Packed. I think there's a little bit of fear of spending the money, but I don't see it, and I'm not a pro. Like, I'm just not a professional. I'm just looking at what's going on. So I think are you offering financing, and do you know how to do that at the point of sale? That's going to help a customer, right? And is that in your marketing? Okay, I think that's one thing. But I think the second part is, where are you showing up in your community within a 10-mile radius? I think those two things are they forget about local marketing tactics. Are you involved with your school system? If you're not, holy moly, depending on the size of your school, like you got 500 kids, that means it's 500 parents. Like that's 500 potential leads of people that are within a 10, 20-mile radius of your house or your business that you could constantly be marketing to. And
sure.
So I think the differentiating factors, one is, what does your brand look like in your community? And two, do you have an irresistible offer, which is going to include financing? And do you know how to sell that at the point of sale? If you can get that in your marketing and you're showing up in your school system, people are going to start trusting you more, especially if you're giving back to schools.
Yeah, because especially with the community outreach, you're not selling, you're just being involved. You're there. Intrinsically, you will have trust, and the sales come after the trust is already built. I love that.
Spend $500 and buy a meal for the teachers at your school, and show up there that day and serve it, and just let people know it's there. Put it on social media if you want to, but do, like, we're going to be doing that in December for Presto Media. Now, we work with companies nationally, but I still think it's important to do that in our community. So, we're trying to do a lot of the same approach, because I would love to have more clients in a local market, because that allows me to be face to face. But so I think that part is just forgotten. It's just like, what are you doing as local guerrilla marketing or local marketing tactics that people just aren't doing anymore because they're lazy.
Yeah. So your average contractor that has a sales team, like, who's doing that? Is it everybody on their sales team? Is it everybody in their organization? Is it just the owner? Like, who should be filling those boots with community outreach?
I think you either have a liaison that does it, which that's obviously you got to be a big company to do that, but it probably needs to be whoever's going to be knocking those doors with Lead Scout, or I would say your sales team. I mean, your owner, yes, needs to be heavily involved, but the people that are face to face. If I was the salesperson, I would want to be in the community face to face. I want people to know who I am, because then they'll want to deal with me.
Yeah.
Because inside your sales team, you're gonna have a little bit of competition, right? Like, I want to make more money than this guy, but it's all going to benefit the company. But I would want to be in there in the market. Everybody's going to know me as just like everybody knows Chris Goebel is the finance guy, right? Like, that just seems to be the thing. So we look at it in this scale. Like, if I'm in my community, I want everybody to know that I'm a roofing contractor for this business. But like, if you need a roof or you got roof repairs, you're just going to come see me because you know who I am.
So sales reps can almost form their own little micro brand within the brand of, I work for this company in my local community. Come if you need these services, you can come to me directly, and then leverage that healthy competition with your sales reps.
Yeah, and I know you're going to have roofing owners out there that are going to buck that a little bit. They don't want their one guy too big, and I get that. Like, there's a personal brand in there, but it's got to stay within. It's got to stay within the company, right? If you get too big, too much, then that's gonna, it's gonna cause some friction between you and the owner.
Totally. So let's talk about the big elephant in the room when it comes to content. Content is super hard to produce, or it can be. It seems overwhelming. Let me rephrase that. Content is really challenging for people to produce. At least they think it is. It can be so time consuming. Do you have any strategies, maybe tools, like a tool stack that you would recommend to make that easier?
Yeah, I'll just give you a process.
Okay.
So well, first off, like we have 5 categories that we do push content out. One is educational. You're letting your customers know about issues, problems, things they should know about that maybe they don't know about in their market. That's number one, right? That's your frequently asked questions. That's all that stuff. Number two, what are your this is pretty easy. What do your systems and processes look like? So like how do you do business? What's it like when I go do a 19-point inspection? What's it like when you decide to work with us? What happens on the day of the job? What happens after? Like all of these things need to be put out in the content so they know what it's like doing business with you. There's no surprises. Third category is employees, highlighting your employees. How do they serve their customers in the different roles? You know who you're dealing with when you decide to do business with us. And then what is that? I got 1, 2, 3. Is that 3? How many I gave you? 3.
Yeah, that's 3.
Fourth is offer to the market if you're offering financing or whatever your offers is. If you're doing new roofs, metal roofs, whatever. Holy moly, I forgot the 5th one.
That's great. I'll add a 5th one for you. This is one that I use a lot. I use memes a lot to build common ground with my audience. It's one of my most favorite things to do on social is to create. If I could only create memes, that's what I would do. But I will be honest, it's just great to post stuff that people find to be funny and it's lighthearted. It might be a little bit on brand every once in a while, but for the most part, it just takes the pressure off of social media management.
Yeah, no, it needs to be social proof. That's the last one. Holy moly!
There we go.
The big one. I completely forgot. I had to pull it up. I was like, all right, we got to pull this up. So social proof, showing your projects, what you're working on, testimonials. Don't be afraid to get your customers on video. Like you'll be surprised they'll do it. If you have the confidence to ask for it, they'll have the confidence to do it.
Yeah.
So, those are the things. So now that you got 5 categories, so now you have an idea of like what content you can produce. So what we use is we use Google Docs, right? We map out our 7 days or 5 days, whatever plan you're on. And we try to make sure we're touching each one of those categories every week. Doesn't always happen, but we do our best. And we use ChatGPT to help create it. And the way we do it is, and you can do this if you have one person in your organization that could probably spend 2 hours a week and get one content piece out a day. And that's not a lot of time to do it. So we use ChatGPT and we go inside their CRM. We pull notes, we pull photos from their company cam to use as the content driver, right? That's the creative, that's that stuff. And then we take those notes and we put them in a ChatGPT and we say, all right, can you write me a social media post based on, we go a little bit more in depth, but write me a social media post based on these notes from this project we did in this location. These are the people that were working on the project. Make sure you highlight this. My homeowner should be concerned about that, whatever, right? You prompt it with the notes and then it'll spit it out. It spits out content piece within 30 seconds. Tweak it to your marketing, messaging, branding, whatever, copy, paste it, move it over. You can do that for 5 days a week and you can easily get content out. Probably, I would say 2 hours a week. So maybe 10 hours, 8 to 10 hours a month you could spend, and you could have regular content going out every single day. Just with photos, raw photos. You don't even have to do graphic design work. Just freaking put raw photos out, and that's just as effective as if you put a branding messaging behind it. So the ChatGPT really does help. You still have to know how to prompt it. You still have to understand what good copywriting is. But I think people sleep on that there, and I think marketers are afraid to say they use it. We use it. Why would I? It cuts my time in half.
I use ChatGPT. My name is Joe, and I use ChatGPT.
Yeah, my name is Jordan, and I use ChatGPT. I use it with all my clients. Right before this podcast, I was using it to get stuff done. And then sometimes if you find content that's really good, like, hey, this is really engaging, take that entire copy that you wrote for that, throw it back into ChatGPT and say, can you write this with a different marketing angle and whatever, right? And prompt it, and it'll pop it back in. So I think ChatGPT is a tool. We use that with Google Docs, and then we post it out on content. So don't sleep on ChatGPT to help you write what you need.
Yeah, it can be super useful if used properly, and you could take a master's level class on how to use it properly, no doubt.
Yeah, well, it's free, and we're gonna be putting content out in our group contractors coffee shop. We'll have content in there too on like best ways to prompt it. That's all coming. So
Oh,
yeah,
it's
so
exciting.
look for that. Yeah, we're by the way, we're moving groups.
Okay.
I had a social media
Where can we find you in the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, so we had social media marketing for contractors group, but we're actually going to take all that content that's in there, which is a ton of it, and we're going to move it into contractor coffee shop, which is originally run by Chris Scoville. He's still
Yeah, it's a
obviously
great
going
group.
to run it. Yeah, so we're going to put everything into one place. So now you've got finance sales training that's going to help differentiate yourself in the market, and then now
Yeah.
you've got marketing training with content. You got Google Ads training that's going to go in there weekly. You got we'll start introducing SEO training and all that kind of stuff. Like all that stuff will be in there, so you'll at least have an understanding of how marketing should work and be able to kind of piece together your stuff in your business. So you can get to 500K, 1 million, 2 million, and then go, all right, I need some help to really ramp this up.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've gotten so many good ideas from that group, from Contractor Coffee Shop and Chris and you posting ideas about social media marketing, and it's just an awesome group for that type of conversation around social media marketing.
Yep. And I think you were talking about leads, and we'll let's just plug Lead Scout here because I love you guys. And I got first time I got door knocked from a roofer was somebody using Lead
I
Scout.
couldn't believe it when you texted me that and you said, "Hey, I just had somebody knock my door and they were using your app." I could. It's so special to have that. I've had it every once in a while,
Yeah.
and I love it when people call that out.
Yeah. So the dude was not a great. Sorry if he ever sees this, but he was not a great sales rep. I gave him
Hey,
a layup.
Lead Scout offers educational material. So if you aren't a great sales rep, just reach out.
Well, I gave him a layup. I mean, a layup to get up on my roof. I said, "Yeah, I got a satellite dish that fell down up there, and and then this side of my house here, it's rotting the side of my chimney because the water's not running off the right way. It probably needs, I don't know, flashing. I'm not a roofer, or maybe it could be fixed or whatever." Like a complete layup, and he goes, "No, my roof looks great." And I'm like, "Guess you don't want like money. I don't know." I got holes in my roof probably, and you're just gonna ignore popping a ladder up and hopping up there. So I just,
What a missed opportunity.
yeah. Well, think about that though. Like that's, tools are only so great. They're like,
Yeah.
well, Jordan was a bad lead. No, I wasn't. I gave you a snowball. Just
Yeah.
here it is. Hop up on my roof. Go check out where that satellite disc fell over. See
Yeah.
if you see any roof damage that can be fixed. Now my roof's in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
I've checked it. I've checked for shingle pliability. I've checked the granulation loss, and it's in good shape. So no, I don't need a roof replacement, but maybe I need a roof repair, and then maybe
Yeah.
in 5 years I need a roof replacement.
We at Lead Scout intimately know that door knocking is not the native language of a huge subset of the roofing market.
Mm-hmm.
There's some people who absolutely rely on it, but there's a lot of contractors who don't. You talk to solar, you talk to pest control, HVAC, they might be, years beyond roofing when it comes to door knocking and their techniques around it. And they have these events and trainings and everything. They get it, and they get how you can get constant leads and build a business on the back of it. And so ultimately that's what we're trying to do, is enable the tracking of door knocking. But that's paired hand in hand with sales rep training. You gotta have the talent out there. You gotta make sure that people understand how to take somebody like you, Jordan, and not just say, well, thank you, have a nice day. I hope the rotting doesn't cause you water damage, and actually, take that opportunity and say, I can help you out. I'm here to help you out. That's my job. And let me take a look at that for you. And even if you don't buy, it's a relationship built.
Yeah, well, even think of it. Well, I may say these people are so nice that when next time somebody's like, I need a roofing company, hey, these people came by my house. They're super nice. You should call them.
You'll
It
refer them.
doesn't. It could be a referral off of somebody you just had a relationship with, that you had a good experience with, and people forget about that. And it's a compounding effect over time. You have to implement it all the time. And I just missed opportunity. And here's funny is I don't even remember the name of the person. I don't even remember the name of the roofing company. That's how
Oh, yeah.
weak their brand. That's how weak their brand is.
Oh, that's too bad. That's really too bad.
You know.
That is something, that impact of network effect is something that a lot of people sleep on, which is you could knock a door of a roof that's perfectly done, just done yesterday. and still get leads out of that homeowner if you make a positive impression. Because
Yeah.
you were simply representing your brand. Hey, I was in the neighborhood. We're going to be making a lot of noise. That's my truck over there. I come from this company. This is my name. Here's my card. Just wanted to let you know I'm going to be in the neighborhood. And they'll say, hey, what a nice guy. I'm going to tell Betty about that person when she needs a new roof.
Yeah, and what if you showed up with a wrapped vehicle? You got, if you want to spend the money on a catch-all if you're a roofing company, or you got signs in the yard, or all of the above that shows that, hey, we are here, we're marketing, and we're on a site here. Like, you should be
Yeah.
loud and proud that we're here
Yeah.
servicing your neighbors.
Yeah.
I had a painter come by and knock my house the other day, and
Okay.
and props to this dude. I got to find his card because he was struggling with English, but props to him for knocking on the door anyway. He's like, we're here at your neighbor's house and we're painting inside their house, and I need painting work done in my house. So the next thing is going to be, this is where you need Lead Scout to learn how to capture that lead the right way so you can follow up. Because I literally told him, I said, I actually need painting done in my house, so I'm going to need an estimate here soon. Instead, all I got was a business card dropped on me. Okay, appreciate it. Have a nice day. And now I can't
Instead
find
of
the business
tracking it.
card. How do we track that, right? Because people are generally nice, right? So that person lost a lead because they didn't track it the right way. And guess
Yeah.
what? If they did, and I called, they came in, they did the painting job, everything was
Yeah.
great. Guess what? I'm going to refer them to the next person around the house or
Yeah.
somebody
Yeah.
else. Like, it's just
There's
missed
no ability.
opportunities.
There's no ability to follow up when you just. It's awesome. Like he checked a lot of the right boxes right there, but it does speak to the importance of maybe the most effective marketing tactic we all know about, which is retargeting. Right, you got to be able to retarget your leads. If somebody shows interest, like you did, hey, I have painting to be done. You can't just leave that person alone. You have to constantly stay in front of them, and you can't do. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say a tactic you can use with Facebook ads is you take a landing page, put your Facebook pixel on that landing page, create the conversion API to it that tracks basically anytime, and you take a digital business card and you say, hey, I don't have a physical card for you. Do you have your phone? You slap the digital business card on their phone. It pulls up a landing page. They're going to go on that landing page. The next time they go on Facebook, they're going to be retargeted with your ad, and they're going to start remembering your brand. But also in that digital business card, it's all your contact information, more information about your business. It's a little landing page that says, hey, this is who we are and what we're about. Doesn't have to be the website, whatever, micro that down. And once again, another missed opportunity. Or use Lead Scout app, right? You need to be tracking these people, and you need to be
It's a combination of all the approaches, right? Door knocking is specifically useful for educating people, like specifically educating people who might not know about you, right? You can't get that with digital marketing very easily without spending a lot of money. Like the digital marketing is you're targeting people who maybe are looking for your services. They're never going to click if they don't know that they need you, right? And that's where door knocking comes in. So you start with that, you layer on digital marketing, you layer on social proof, and all these things work together. Postcards with dope marketing to follow up around job sites. Like there's all these things that you can kind of layer in and coalesce into a singular approach. And it doesn't have to be costly either. Like door knocking is free. Social proof with videos on your Facebook is free, right? TikTok, Instagram, free. It just takes some time.
Yeah. And even the Facebook ads, if you're running a retargeting Facebook ad campaign and it's strictly just for like one landing page, $5 a day.
That's incredible.
$5 a day. Like that's what 5 times 30 was that $150? 150?
Yeah.
$150 a month. You can run a very low budgeted retargeting ad that literally is like, I just want to target the people on there.
Yeah.
I do it. I use my business card,
Yeah.
slap it on somebody's phone. They go to my little landing page. Next time they go on Facebook, they're going to see the social proof of the contractor I worked with. One of my case studies, right, that I've done with one of my clients down at Dothan. So like, why you're not doing that now? They're just going to keep in their mind and keep remembering your brand and your business. But it just takes work.
I love it. Let's talk about. I'm curious. You do a lot of work coaching people to help them understand how to produce content that's meaningful, produce content that's timely. Can you give people some tips about how you can capture attention Just that may be on the more the creative side of content, but like, how do you capture people's attention?
Yeah, capture one. First, you need to have videos. People are gonna stop. If you're a business owner and you have videos, people are more likely going to watch those videos because most people don't have videos, right? They'll at least stop. So if you're doing videos, you want some type of movement, you want some type of thing, whatever happening in the first 5 seconds. It doesn't have to be fancily edited. You could literally be like face up here and be like, "Hey, it's Jordan here with Presto Media," and you've created an effect that stopped somebody from scrolling or grabbed their attention. Second part is anytime you start a video, just have the thought process in your head of like, all right, I need a hook that's going to grab somebody's attention. Okay. So, you can, a matter of fact, I need to release it. I have it somewhere. I have a list of like 170 different types of hooks you can use for a video, right? So have a hook in mind that's going to grab their attention, that makes them curious. Other thing you can do is show something up close, like maybe a frozen HVAC unit, that's somebody that decided to run their heat pump in negative 30-degree weather when they're not supposed to, and it all froze up, So like close up and frozen that something they can be relatable to immediately, and then boom, come back out. So do something to me that first grabbing the attention first.
Yeah.
And have a hook in mind that you want to talk about before you just get on there. What you don't want to do though is get on there and go, hey, this is I'm lost at that point. I don't even care who you are.
Yeah.
I ain't got time to figure out what you want. But if you do it quickly, get to the hook fast, and then just get to what you talked about. Talk about what's going on in that moment. Keep it super simple.
Yeah.
Keep your stuff a minute or less. You don't need longer than a minute.
I think back to like 6th grade English where they're like, here's how you write, right? It's like, start by telling people what you're going to tell them, and then tell them what you told them. And that, that first part of the tell them what you're going to tell them needs to be interesting enough that you'll keep reading. The same thing applies to video. If you're going to, like you said, if you're going to start and say like, hey, I'm in this neighborhood I was just on this roof over here. Like you said, you're out. So say right away, tell them what you're going to tell them. Here's 3 interesting facts about roofing flashing, or, here's 3 things that have been affecting the Brayburn neighborhood. You just tell them right away. And then you proceed to actually lay out the case, and you do it in a short amount of time, 30 seconds, 60 seconds. And all of a sudden you got yourself some good content that people are going to be hooked and watch. Right.
Yeah. And it just takes practice, man. Like you're going to suck. I mean, I love Alex Ramosi, and he's just 100% on the money. It's reps. You're going to suck the first time you do video. I still suck on video.
Yeah.
I don't like myself on video. I don't like the way I talk. I don't like listening to myself. I mumble a lot. I'm introverted. So like, that's all of the above. And everybody's like, but you do video content. I'm like, yeah, but it's because I know that's how I'm going to grow a business, and that's how other people are going to grow a business, and that's how I build relationships. And trust me, I would much rather be not in front of the camera and somebody else take that role. But
I feel you. I feel you there. An easy technique too for recording video content for people is this can be a video actually, or a photo that you turn into a video. Just layer music on top of it. So if you're a roofer, for example, be up on a roof doing your roofing thing, which is interesting to watch, and then throw some trending music on top of it, and label like, we're in this neighborhood doing work, and there you go. You have yourself some content. Now it might not be the most move to action content, but it's something, and you're getting your name out there and you're getting your brand out there, and then improve on it the next time.
Yeah, if you use Company Cam, pull your photos before, during, after photos. Company Cam, pull them out, download them to your phone real quick, and then go. And if you post them before, during, after, a lot of times now Facebook says, do you want to create a reel of this?
Yeah.
And it'll automatically load them up for a quick slide reel.
There you go.
Load it up, share that to your stories, put the whatever music that's in there, and just let it go. And don't sit there. Don't let it be perfect, man.
Yeah. You don't even have to be in front of the camera for that one. That's easy. You can do one of those reels where you essentially have got like, and it's like, before, after, big reveal, right? And it's super engaging content, really easy.
It's funny. Okay. Sorry, no, I was going to say one thing with that. So I have a hardwood floor client, and we do his content for him, but he also posts on top of that. his stuff works way better than ours because he ain't worried about it. He's just getting it out there. And a lot
Yeah.
of times it's way more effective. I'm like, dude, why are you even hiring me? It's like, because you keep me consistent. I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
We're doing
It's like
other
a
stuff too, but
financial advisor, right? I think the
yeah.
same thing with my financial advisor. I'm like, I
Mhm.
could maybe do this stuff on my own. It doesn't seem like rocket science, but I'm like, I wouldn't be doing it because I wouldn't be able to stay consistent without this guy bugging me about it.
Nah, we do other stuff for him, but it's his. He
Love
does
it.
good stuff that people like. So
I love it. Okay, let's wrap up with this. I know you got to go soon, Jordan. So, trends, things like that you're looking forward to. What's coming, either in the space? Let's start with that. What's coming in the space that you're really excited about?
as far as marketing or
Yeah, let me rephrase that. What's coming for home improvement contractors as far as marketing that you're really excited about in 2023, 2024?
I think, and this is people are gonna be like, well, you're just pumping each other up. I think going back to the basics of door knocking, going back to the basics of creating content, going back to the basics of being involved in your community and showing up everywhere and being an active member of your community as a business owner. I think that is going to be the trend. Google ads are not so expensive. And
Mhm.
even in a median market, somebody's like, "Hey, almost $1,500. Here's $1,500 for Google ads." Like, how many leads is that going to give me? I said, maybe 15. That it?
Yeah,
Yeah. Can
yeah,
you close those? Yeah. Once again, I go to that sales process. So I think the idea of creating a brand and creating a market, or as Joe Hughes says, 5 mile famous. I think you should be 15-mile famous. But, I'm missing. But being involved in your community and being actively involved and showing up and then doing the things like door knocking, all the guerrilla marketing stuff, all the local marketing tactics that people forget about. I think that honestly, put that on social. That's a bigger trend. Facebook ads just don't like we offer them, but we offer them as more of a brand play or retargeting play. Whenever we do them for leads, they just don't work.
mm,
And it's not because we suck at the marketing. Like they just don't work the way they did 5 years ago or 3 years ago. They're not the same. Everybody's tired of seeing it. So you really, I think those are the emerging as far as trends. Got me excited because we're doing it right, and we've been doing it for a year. I think it's going to come back to content. I think it's going to come back to video as being entrenched inside your community, and then doing the little things like door knocking that's building relationships. Going back to that human element, because guess what?
yeah,
We spent a year inside our homes. Now we're getting out of it. Now we're getting back to like getting used to actually having real conversations with people. And I think you need to go back to building that relationship. And I think that's what's missing.
I love that. Okay, one last thing. You have anything you wanna plug right now?
Man, I don't. Man, I just want to. The only thing I would plug would be hop in the contractor coffee shop for pre value. Like I'm not. You can follow my content and you can see what I'm all about. Like I'm not going to sell you our services. Like here I am. This is what we do. Work with us or not. I don't care.
Yeah,
We would love for you to, if it's the right
yeah,
fit. But if not, but I think hop in that contractor coffee shop because I think it's going to be a game changer for you as far as just free content, free value. Like literally, when we give you all the tools you need to get you to at least 500K a year if you're not in revenue.
yeah,
Or at least the minimum standards to be able to offer financing if you're not there yet. Like that can make you different from your competition. And we want to put a ton of free content in there that's going to get you there in education. That would be my only plug, man. Outside of that, I'm
love
just
it.
here to give value.
Awesome. So if you're a contractor and you are looking for amping up your social media presence, getting better traction online, better techniques for closing the deal with things like financing, Facebook, go to the contractor coffee shop and just join the group and talk about it. There's a whole community of people talking about that right now that are, just growing businesses, right? Small contractors, medium-sized contractors that are trying to grow their businesses. That's
Yep.
awesome.
Yep. That's go there, get help.
I love it. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Jordan. This has been awesome. And if you guys have any sort of social media needs, any sort of video production strategy, grow your business needs, Presto Media, Jordan Harrison is where it's at. So check him out. What's your website, Jordan? Where can we send people?
Look, I'm gonna send you the contractor coffee shop right now because we were
Okay,
literally right
great.
in the middle. We were right in the middle of rebuilding the website
I
because
love it.
we've added our SEO services, and we're going more hard to the paint on that. We're way more than content. A lot of people just don't know. So we're right in the process of rebuilding the website. But
Cool.
prestomedia.co is the site. So when it is launched, you can check it out when it's there.
We'll find you there. And if you can't find him, you can just reach out to me, text me, call me, and I'll send you to Jordan. I'll send
That's right.
Jordan to you. I love
Either
it.
way, it doesn't matter.
Sounds good. Thanks, Jordan. We'll see you soon.
Appreciate it.
Bye.